Hello and welcome to the VeloElite Shop Ride, episode 5. Before we get into this week's footage, we're going to have a little few snippets of what happened last week when I turned up. Let's just say it didn't go to plan.
You're right.
Steve punches, saving me from the first dropping.
Did you get dropped then, Gav?
Yeah.
I fucking.
And it's game over, lights out. Who have we got riding? We have Dave, Paul, George, Jack, Tom, and Ed. And we're in my favourite bit of the course, the crosswind section. Pan flat. Need to start hurting and weakening up some legs from this point. We've already done about 20 minutes riding. Time to put an attack in. We're actually going quite fast at this point. I realised once I started attack, I realised that we're already doing 31 mile an hour. So I didn't really get the separation I was wanting. Paul was able to quite easily attack and get across to my wheel. Everyone seems to have come across with it. And here comes the counter attack. George counters. Just about managed to kick and get back to his wheel. Looks like we've got Ed has come across to us, so it's 3. It looks like the rest are still managing to get across. See them in the rear camera coming across. It all seems to be split up. Everyone's gone quite deep on those attacks, so no one really wants to go super hard again. George is also setting a really good tempo here, so it makes it quite difficult to attack off of this. I'm trying to get someone to come through. Ooh, Dave puts a little blasting attack in. A bit cagey here, no one wanting to follow that. Everyone looking at each other to see if someone else will chase it down instead of them. I'm quite happy to leave Dave out there on his own at the moment. And try and move over, see if I can let someone else come through. Play some mind games. Swinging around in the middle of the road. Is someone going to fill the gap? Slow down a little bit more. Don't want to attack from the front, always attack from further back in the pack. Get the separation of speed. Jack's got a bit fed up with the speed we're doing now, so he's going to bridge across to Dave, although Dave looks like he's already starting to drift back towards us. Jack goes straight by Dave. Jack be a good person to bridge up to. Dave's been swallowed up. Right, I'm a bit further back in the pack. Just Dave and Tom behind me. Right, and pull. Put an attack in. Try and get across to Jack. Impressively, Dave was out there solo, but he's also managed to kick and get back to my wheel. He's riding super strong. Digging, keep the power on. Get up Jack. Jack looks like he's dying, so we go straight through him. We've got a separation at the moment. Looks like we just got Ed coming across the gap. Possibly be able to get 3 of us away, although I'm sure George will work and drag everyone back to it. Now 3 of us. Dave swings over. It jumps to Dave's wheel. And I just put a little bit more power in, another 100 watts. It must have been so on the limit that I've just rolled off the front away from them. I don't really intentionally want to go away solo. This section is actually into headwind at the moment. Try and keep a sweet spot power, but they all come back to me. We now get onto some twistier, winding single track roads. Not really the best place to get separation and get away, so I'm quite happy to wait until we get to the bigger main roads. Hopefully as well that could possibly be a crosswind that could split it up. All rolling through, taking a turn. Watching the potholes been the main thing on these roads. Right, out onto the bigger main road. Let's see what we can do again. What is that bloke doing? He pulled straight out in front of another load of cyclists. Okay, all looks clear. Let's give it another blast. Good separation there. Can't see who's trying to pull this back across. Settle in. With good power. It's all been bridged back across to. Swing back in. Try and get a bit of recovery. Get the heart rate back down. Try a second. Looks like Dave was savvy to that one. He's already managed to jump on me. He's getting good at following my wheels today. It does look like there is only me and Dave at the moment though. We've got a bit of separation. It's slightly downhill though. Ed comes through. Looks like the group is chasing back on. And as we knew was going to happen, George puts in a lovely counter. Everyone then just sits on me. Just done an attack and pulled on the front. Not going to be able to instantly jump to George, but we can gradually pace him back and get back on his wheel. Back on some twistier roads. George has just done a turn. It gives a little bit push to say, no, you stay on the front. So I sense weakness. Let's put another attack in. Got a bit of separation, but again, everyone seems to be able to chase across, close the gaps, and again, and close down. Get a bit of recovery on the wheels for another good spot. Everyone looks around and go. Got the timing slightly wrong. Paul was looking at that time, so I didn't get that good a separation. They come back to me. Pretty gassed now for all these attacks. Paul attacked lovely from the back of the group. Actually just rolled straight off the front. I'm not chasing that one. Let some others do some work. Paul's been caught back. We're all back together. Oh, he's wiping the sweat from his brow. He must be planning something. That's it. Race face is on for him. And here he goes. He's done some impressive chasing today, Dave has. See if he's got any more legs left. Oh, the hand's up. I think that means I'm fucked. Keep the pace high up here. That's a classic place for people to attack. Try and split it up. Good pace. Right, let's try again. George has come across. It's managing to chase back on. So many attacks now. I can't really sustain it long enough to get good enough separation. Plus we've got a bit of a hill at the bottom of this. Once we get to this junction we turn left. This is a bit of a draggy climb. I'm just wary of going too deep for it. Make sure I can stay with them up here. Dave and Paul have managed to chase back on. Dave just got dropped going up this climb. But he has done a lot of work. Well done to Paul. He's rode as strong as I've seen him for a long time. Still with the lead group he is. Right, we're going to be turning left up here. And get a bit of separation. I'm going to absolutely send it through this corner. A nice little bit of separation, which means I don't have to pedal quite as hard before the next climb that's coming up. Start the climb with a slightly lower heart rate than I would normally do if I'd gone around that corner at a slower speed. Right, I'm very wary of this climb. I know something's going to happen. It always does. Every shop ride there's attacks up here. Keep the pace high but not too high. Here we go, as I said, George goes. Managed to kick and stay with him. He looks back, these were still there, and he shuts it down. That was one of the probably the last real danger spot for the final sprint. Ed waves the white flag, he's had enough. Doesn't want to contest the sprint at the end. He puts a nice little dig up there. Stop the attacks. Kept it lined out. Such a bloody rain though. Means all the corners are going to be a bit slippy. It's been dry all day. Last corner. Bit wary of this being wet though. We didn't quite do the corner as fast as we would normally. Now it gets extremely cagey. I don't want to lead it out, neither does Ed, neither does George. We're all looking at each other. Who's going to go? Who's going to do what? Paul just rolls off the front. Fantastic. A kick. Try and get Paul's wheel, get some draft off of Paul, well as much as you can off someone like Paul, nothing more said. Position myself in the wind, but also blocking the easy attack, and, well, people boxing me in. Blasted by BMW, wasn't happy about us racing on the road. Down this corner and then sprint to the final line. Dig in, find out what got left in the legs. Luckily there was enough there. Take the win. Another fun shop ride.